What's going on, people? It's Jimmy Lincoln with SpitFireHipHop.com. Today we have some veterans in the building. We have Artisin 16. I'm sorry, AR16, which includes Artisin and REKS. They're a new duo in hip hop formed, again by REKS and Artisin. And we couldn't be happier to have them, man. We're going to talk about their new album scheduled for June 30, I believe, correct?
That's
June
correct.
30? Yeah, June 30. It's called Kill Writer's Block. And the title of the album, man, says a lot. And we're going to get into why they call it or named it, titled it the Kill Writer's Block. And again, make sure you look for the album. June 30th, and they've released already a few tracks that we know of that we have on SpitFireHipHop.com. They released Superpowers and Eat What You Kill, two strong tracks. Again, man, welcome, REKS, Artisin. How you guys doing today?
Peace. Thanks for your time.
Good, man. Again, thanks for joining us today, man. It's a pleasure to have both of you on. We got together today to talk about the album that's going to drop on June 30, but we want to lead up to that. I have a couple of questions about, kind of the origins and the chemistry between the two of you. REKS, you've had a storied career, man. Solo career started in the early 2000s. Again, man, tell us how your paths crossed to where you are now with AR16.
I mean, I appreciate the kind words, and it's a pleasure to be on the show. And it's a blessing when I'm able to talk about the vibrations that I share with my brother, this talented individual, Artisin, who's kind of like, I dropped that record, The Greatest X, and I think of like individuals like him when I think of, these greats who are unknown to the masses. Like, he's so under the radar, and it's great to see him get his just due with this record. But we've been part of a crew called Estee the Squad for some time now. He was like kind of like an early on member of that storied crew in our neighborhood. Estee the Squad, Termanology, Easy Money, Superstah Snuk, DJ Deadeye, and originally Clip, Ghetto, Bent, very early on members in Machete, people from my neighborhood, and he's one of like the super sharp spitters from that crew,
Okay.
as well as a double threat because he's like a producer, super dope with it.
Now, I appreciate that. Do you have something to add, Artisin, to that?
Yeah, back in the days, so same thing. REKS was like, again, one of those super sharp brothers, spitters that was doing shows, doing his own thing, as we all know. And but at the same time, what people may not know is that we were like doing shows together, be on the same bill, you know what I'm saying? And like me and the squad, me, SC term, and that's how we kind of grew up this relationship, that we had, that's how we all kind of bonded. We all like brothers, from the same like close knit hip hop scene, from where we rock in Boston and Lawrence, So yeah, and as the years came, we did our show, came together and make songs, and it was just always in the back of our mind, like, yo, we want to do a project together.
Okay.
And I got to credit my brother ShortFYUZ, because that's where a lot of our like chemistry as us, me and REKS, like coming together and doing a lot of joints. Like, he would be there, they would hit me up, yo, I'm here at Fuse. He'd hit me up, yo, I'm here at Fuses, come through. And then I come through, and it was like basically steel sharp steel type of thing, without even like trying to go at each other's necks or nothing like that. It was just like, we just want to be dope in our own right. So, we're going to come off how we come off. And The chemistry was beautiful. The music that came out of there, amazing. So, and that's what led to Kill Writer's Block, you know?
Okay. No, cool. Good stuff. Now, so it sounds like it wasn't a singular thing. This is, over time, right? So how did you two know that this was the right time for you two to join forces and release this project that we're going to talk about here shortly?
Interesting enough, I think I want to say something on that because interesting enough, like I was doing this crazy run in 2024, and I'm talking about just dropping record after record with all these producers and MCs. I was like, I came up with this wild idea that REKS drops 33, and I'm gonna drop 33 records in a short span. So last year I dropped 12 of those, and this record that we're on, we have been building up records for a little while, and I was telling Sam, yo, we ready, let's go, it's go time. And Sim kept being like, yo, let's keep cooking, let's chef. Like, he would slow everything down a little bit. So it's kind of like, it was dope to see how, my push to get it like going real fast, and his push to slow things down a bit, there was an amalgamation between the two of us that led to us like, him slowing me down and me speeding him up to my speed a little bit, and us finding the right fine-tuned time to release this record now for June 30th. I'm glad he slowed me down a bit because like the album sounds so much more well polished because of it. So it just was an amalgamation of both of our paces.
Okay. Now, how did you how did you split the creative duties when it comes to say the production, the beats, the lyrics? How did you split that creative time or the creative duties on the album?
Well, it was all about a vibe. Saying like, and it was basically like, yo, I got this joint. You want to throw a verse on that, or yo, we did this in 2017. We should add on to that, remake that, complete that track and make it part of it, and it was. I mean, like, he tries to go everything down the middle, but I mean, at the same, like, he had a solo joint. I didn't really care if I had a solo joint, to be honest, because I produced a lot of the tracks on it and I'm on it rapping with him. But he had a solo joint and he was like, yo, you gotta have this joint on it, Kill Misery, that's your solo. And I was like, all right, I'm with it. But it's a vibe. It was just like we was feeling. And he made me step to the occasion. Like, he not slowed him down. I had to step to that occasion too, as well, to make sure I deliver on my half, to make sure, because I know, like, I'm maybe more the lesser known. So, at the same time, I don't want to be that person like where they listening to REKS and they're like, yeah, you killed it. And then they like, yo, man, you do songs by yourself. Yo, I don't know about your mans, yo.
Right.
That's funny how you put that. Cracking up.
That's hilarious, man. Hey, who's this guy you have on the album with you, man?
Yo, who you man?
So I know I ain't gonna have to worry about that with REKS. You know what I'm saying? And I want to make sure you don't got to worry about that with me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Listen,
right.
I ain't rapping with nobody who ain't spitting, who ain't waxing poetic when it comes to a project. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I take this way too serious, and I respect Artisin's pen game. Like, it's super official. And you had mentioned, like, the splitting the duties, and like, the truth of the matter is, I be attempting to make beats. I be making beats, but we ain't putting none of my beats on this project. You know what I'm saying? My little piggy cats ain't going for this project. But yo, Sig is busy on the production.
Okay.
He's one of those, like, when you think of Alchemist, you think of double threats. like Alchemist, Rock, you think of Large Pro, you know what I'm saying? You think of Evidence, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Obviously, you know, rest in peace to the great Jay Dilla, you know, and individuals like that. And Artisan, like he comes to the table with that. So, you know, he throws that out there, like talking about, you know, that's REKS. So like, you know, you got to be, but he's that quiet storm, silent threat. So I already know what it is. Like, you know, this is just the first of many in my book. Like this is just the beginning of something with AR16.
Okay. Now, hey REKS, if you want to send those to me, man, I'll practice on it. I'm not a rapper, but I'll practice on your music, man, and send it back to you.
I'm gonna definitely let you know if you
let me know, man.
You better stop playing with me. You send me some. You go ahead and send me some wild.
Let me know, man. So
no, you know what I do is I give it to my wife, because my wife is the one who, like, she's quick to be like, yo, she's the one who's the frisbee tosser. The CD.
Okay.
She's the one that's like, I'm driving and she's throwing the joint out the window.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Hey, now, Artisan mentioned it a few minutes ago, man, about how you pushed him, and you may have pushed him as well. How far now? You guys have known each other for a while, but how far did either of you stretch each other on this project?
Oh, I mean, I got to be sharp, just as sharp with Sin. Sin is a spitter. It ain't like, and that's not even just like the thing about our squad, ST the squad. Everybody is barred up. Okay. Everybody is barred up. Like, you know, cats know Termanology. Many may know Easy Money. You know what I'm saying? But like, we got this super, one of the baddest white boys on the planet, Superstah Snuk. He's like super lyrical. Like, you don't want to, when you hear this verse that he did on this record, on the album called Dreams to Reality, like, you just know what it is. Like, like when you think of rappers in Massachusetts in general, right? Like, it's always, we have one of the most slept on states in the world. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Comes to Arsmith, like, I look at the great areas like New York, Cali, Philly, Detroit. You know, we could hold our own. Like, you know, obviously, like, the weight is really heavy, like with stardom in these other locations. Right. When it comes to bar for bar, like, we have some spitters. Right.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that. What is you know, the secret, if there is a secret, to maintaining, you know, artistic flow and synergy, you know, across a full LP? Right, because that's kind of difficult, man. If you think about it, you know, the music should flow right from one track to the next, right? How difficult is that how difficult was it for this album? Now, again, you two have known each other for a while, so maybe it's not difficult. But talk about that, if you will.
So I want to say this, and it's crazy because you kind of played into it, you know, played into my plan. Now, but
yeah. Right. He's plotting that question.
So, like, you look at a brother like REKS. You look at REKS, right? And he brought you 25th Hour. He brought you Just a Nobody. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, like, it's conceptualized songs. Like, yeah, we bar spitters, but the concept and how we conceptualize these songs also plays into how the album flows. You know what I'm saying? Right. It also plays into, I mean, I'm gonna go hard regardless, but it also, in my mind, it's not just like, yo, I'm trying to just rap, just to rap. I'm not. I could say that. And he toned me down. He actually toned me down, because I would have been like probably saying some wilder shit. You know what I'm saying? but it made me, you know what I'm saying? But it made me be like, yo, you gotta conceptualize. You kill it, but like, make it kill it about something. You know, like, okay, Losses. We got the song Losses. You know, it's about losses, you know, or dreams to reality. Like, you know, it's just so like, and then with that comes the continuity of the album. Oh, okay, I'm gonna throw this little cut in here that plays into, you know, it plays into dreams to reality. You know, it plays into losses. We got Samuel Jackson talking about, you know, Fresh. He's talking about like he's talking to his son. You know, he's talking to Fresh, saying, "Yo,
you giving him too
you know,
much. Let me stop. Let me stop.
But yeah, well, you playing him in chess, and you know he's saying, you know, you're afraid to lose that queen. You know what I'm saying? You're afraid to lose so much. You protect it, and you throw in your other moves. You're afraid of this loss. So yeah, it goes into the continuity of the whole like that, like how we like when we put it together. You know, at the end of the day, oh, okay, this cut can go here because he said that. You know, or this song's about that, and yeah, and then you know I gotta put the dope music under it too. You know, under the cuts. You know, like I mean, when June 30th, y'all will hear what I'm talking about, though. You know what I'm saying?
The stuff Sin talking about, like when he was doing the in and outs, like I remember when he was conceptualizing it, and like I was like, I want to get this record out, so let's put this record out like right now. And he's like, yo, man, nah, we gotta make there has to be the synergy of like the in and outs that go in between the records, so we make every song cohesive. And I'll be honest with you, if you go through the list of my records I feel they have been cohesive, but he married the records in a way that like I never really did with any of my records. And I think that is a testament to greats like RZA and like individuals like how the Chronic was constructed and Doggy Style was constructed and Muddy Waters and everything that like, you know, Death Squad was on. You know, just everything that like, you know, played in between every record to interwoven like narratives in between the narrative. Right. So I think, you know, Artisan's great at that. And he brought something out of me that like even me being an elder statesman in this, like he's an elder statesman, but like I learned something and I was glad to learn how to like kind of to take that creative process and make it part of your records, like even years later. But like that was a dope thing about this project.
That's good stuff, man. That's a lot of respect that you have for him, man. And
absolutely,
you know those words that you shared there.
Word, no, that's facts.
No, that's good stuff, man. Now let's move into the I guess the title of the album, right? So it's for anyone who is an MC, right? No one wants to talk about having writer's block, right? Or if they ever do, they never tell anyone, right? You know, it's like an athlete, right? It's like, hey, man, you know, I'm one of the best, but they still hit a wall sometimes, right? And they still have to get over a few things as a football player, whatever, basketball, whatever it is. They hit a wall too, right? But and you know, as in hip hop, man, and you're talking about MCs. Nobody ever wants to say, man, I hit a wall here. You know, I can't think of any subjects here, right? So the album, the title of the album is arresting, man. When you look at it, you say kill writer's block. Is there any personal or significance, artistic significance, you know, to the title, right? Kill writer's block. Have you two ever had, you know, writer's block? And if you have, you know, let's talk about it.
I know that's going to be sent right there.
So,
I mean, it could be neither one of you have experienced.
Yeah, but I'm gonna build on it too. But like, yo, I gotta act. You know, saying respect, like how it all came.
I don't think ever catches writer's block because he like literally. I seen him like just come in and write like man, and it'd be like classic. I'm like, yo, this just happened right before my eyes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this dude just and like every bar, nothing sounds rushed. Just sounds like yeah. But so anyway, the song was like because the song is Kill Writer's Block. That was originally what it is, right? And so I sent them the beat, and then he's like, did you have your bars first? No, no.
The Kill Writer's Block, you had the bars and the hook.
Yeah, so that's what it was. I was just sitting there listening to this beat, and I couldn't think of nothing at first. And then I was like, you know what? Man, fuck this writer. I'm gonna kill writers. So I was so craftily, I was like, yo, I'm gonna talk my shit and kill writers. Block. That's gonna be the concept. But and so I made that like the hook, and basically I personified a negative emotion or a negative thought, and I attacked it, and it was kind of like that. Like I have other like ideas, and I have a song, Kill Misery. So that was what it was. I personified writer's block, and I attacked it. You know what I'm saying? And sent it to Rex, and then you mess with it. He was like, "Yo, it's dope," and and then he came and was like, "Yo, name the album that Kill Writer's Block," right? We didn't have another title, right? We had that just. Did we have another title at first?
No, we had the project was untitled, and like when you said that, like sometimes a record just like automatically you could hear it, and you're like, that's it, like and when that happens, that's when you kind of like you done made it the natural flow and progression, and made it a smooth transition when you release it. Rather than trying to force the hand to try to make Kill Writer's Block just sounded like it.
Now is that usually what happens? And from personal experience, do you usually come up with the title of the album first, or do you work with the tracks first, and then after you finish, here's the title of the album?
For me, it's a bit of both. Like, for instance, the album Things that I dropped back in 2020, that was a concept and an idea that spawned from, listening to the great George Carlin. And he had that like stand-up bit where he was talking about stuff, like all the stuff that we accumulate. You know what I'm saying? He was like I'm big on acronyms. So like he was like, this stuff. And then like he just I don't want to try to imitate Carlin, but like, he was talking about all the stuff that we accumulate to make more stuff and put more stuff into, and then I started thinking about things, and the hunger inside never gets satisfied in us, like attempting to achieve and get to the things that really matter in our life. And I was going through this great transition. And so that one became the entire album. But then there's other records where, they don't come till like all the food is dropped and the messages are translating. At least that's how it works for me. And I think Kill Writer's Block was kind of like that. I was like, we didn't have to name it until the name just came. Let the name just naturally come.
So it happened organically, is what you're saying, then, right?
Yeah, it happened. Yeah, never attempt to force it. And I think that's the great, like, I'm far removed from being a drinker. Like I used to be a steady drinker, but I've always been a drinking master. So like I move with the wind, like, you know what I'm saying? Like moving like be like water, like, right? Like, and we move in a certain, for real, like, and I think that's the way we're able to kind of like defeat our insecurities, our weaknesses, whatever those like those kryptonites are for us. I think we're able to defeat them by like leaning into them and not allowing them to like overcome us. We overcome them by just leaning into them,
Right.
And at least how I see it.
Artisan?
Yeah, that's like what he said. I mean, he said Drunken Master, and I used to watch the Jackie Chan movie. I love that movie, man. But I love, like, it don't mean me getting started on kung fu, but he's saying like that, but I like Tai Chi is like that too, like where they switch, go with the force. They use the force that you're using against you, kind of flowing. You know, you throw a punch, they just walk away and push you with the punch.
Right.
You know,
Right.
make you punch the ball. You know,
Right.
but yeah, yeah. As far as like the create like how the creative process of us like it's and as far as like Kill Writer's Block, yeah, he said that, and I rocked with it, and I was like, yo, that's dope. I thought in my mind like, yo, that's dope. He wants to actually use that, you know, this concept I came up with because I really not that I didn't think much of it, but I didn't think of it in that way to be the name of the whole project. And when he said it, I was like, nah, that's fly. It's dope, you know, because it's at the same time it makes you question what are they talking about? It's talking about, you know, and it's one of those things that like Kill Writer's Block can be a vulnerable statement, you know what I'm saying, or it can be like, you know, like I said, a rash, you know, personified and, you know, make somebody like, you know, like make you think about something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like makes you think in that extra, like how can I say, like on that extra level, you know? Because that's what I feel like when it comes to rap. I think on that extra level, you know, like I'm trying to come in a way that nobody else is coming, like and say what nobody else is saying, you know, and because like I want to insert myself into the culture, you know,
Right.
have.
And speaking of extra levels, you two have released a couple of singles. One of them being Superpowers, and the other one being Eat What You Kill. Let's talk about the those two singles, if you will, man. Superpowers. Can you tell us what what you felt making that song and what it means to you for both of those Superpowers and Eat What You Kill, because Eat What You Kill, man, is a crazy track as well. And it just makes sense to me, right? How we're so gluttonous as people in this country. We buy like what you were mentioning earlier, and we don't eat it all, right? So just
yeah.
when I saw the title, it made sense to me.
Yeah, and I think people bugged out like before we like even tap into Superpowers. Like, but speaking on what you're talking about and Eat What You Kill and that things concept, like it's leaning into like over consumption. I remember like my grandparents. It was kind of foul, but at the same time, like they used to have this like poster on the wall. I mean, poster on the refrigerator. It was like a pig, like, and it said, "Those who indulge bulge." You know what I'm saying? Like I would always stare at this joint and I'd be like, yo, that's kind of flagrant. Like they like how they like had this joint on here, like for like the family members who like a little overweight and what have you, and dealing with obesity and things of that nature. But I'm thinking on the fact that that's what we are on, consumerism and all that stuff. And that concept and that idea of Eat What You Kill is actually a stock market phrase. You know what I'm saying? And I'm heavily invested in the market. Like that's my mind frame,
right.
And being in it, like I think as a value investor, as opposed to somebody who's trying to like swallow whole and like earn quick and like move at the rapid speed of the market. And that's just in everything. There's a market for everything. Consumerism, it comes in everything that we deal with in life, from socio-economic to political things in nature. And all those things like tie into that concept of eat what you kill, like especially in Western culture. Like it's something that you adapt to. It's not something that you like innately have in you. And attempting to tap into who we naturally are. I thought it was important for us to spit on the record, like on that concept, coming from the mud. You know what I mean?
Right. No, that makes a lot of sense, man. That makes a lot of sense. Are there any central topics on the album? Like, are you any introspection on the album, on any of the tracks, any, where you're expressing ambition, excuse me, or trying to encourage people to, to make the right moves, right? I mean, we live in a peculiar time right now where, things are all over the place, man. Is there anything on the album, any of the tracks that speak to that?
Pretty much all of it. Like, I really feel all of it. Like we
Yeah.
would say,
Or I would say like losses, kind of, like it helps people, like to deal with losses, you know what I'm saying? Deal and basically like embrace it, and like young homies, you know, telling basically like the youth, and the ways they get caught up and how it's just a cycle that repeats, we see all the time, we got dreams to reality is ambitious, and it's just it's not really so much as like glossy and glamour life, but it's more like just the rise and what we do it for, that feeling, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's yeah, like he said, all of them. It's not. There's a lot of tracks. It's not all that.
Yeah, because you
learn.
Yeah, lesson learned. Look at like also like we were talking about Kill Writer's Block and superpowers, and we're talking about going and tapping into the schools and like sitting with young kids at the library and having them unlock their superpowers. Sin sent me this video of his daughter and her school friend is like chanting the hook from Superpowers and like in the video, and like she's on her way to school and she's chanting the hook, and it's like, yo, being able to sit with kids and remember the joy that we had when we was little and be like, yo, what's your superpower and how do you unlock it? And just sitting there for like, you could do a whole classroom session with 6 to 10 years olds who think so much vaster than we do and are so they believe in possibilities more than right. When you get like boggled down by day-to-day work and like the things that we deal with. But little kids, they're like so ambitious, and they can like they can look at something like that song Superpowers and like be invigorated by it. And Kill Writer's Block is the same. It taps into people with mental health issues and like that whole record. The whole record is that. Like, I mean, a lot of our songs like kind of either subliminally or direct on, like Losses and Lesson Learned are direct on. But other records, we have a couple grimy records on there. We have we had to keep it where we come from. We come from Helltown, I come from Lawtown. So like, we got a couple of those records, but the entirety of the record is definitely super topical.
Right. And with you, talking about the kids and how the little girl was singing the hook and of the superpower, it made me think, man, when I grew up in Pittsburgh, and I grew up not too far from the University of Pittsburgh. So the state, when they played in the stadium back when Hugh Green and Dan Marino were playing there. And for us, man, they, the kids in the neighborhood, they were superheroes to us, right? And so whenever the stadium was open, my friends and I, we would run in there, just to run on the turf, right? Just to run on the field, right? To see, hey, man, we watch these guys every Saturday on television, and we want to run on the field that they run on. And of course, that didn't work out too well for us. They ran us out of there. But those guys, if the players were out there, they would give us wristbands and all of that kind of stuff, right? And it just made me think when you said, the little girl was chanting or singing the hook to the song, man. It's at that age we're impressionable, and if you're giving out a good impression, then it would be easier for the kids to follow that, right? Now, the players never kicked us out. It was always somebody on the coaching staff or someone that worked in the stadium that ran us out of there. But when you said that, it just made me think of that, man. As a kid, you have someone, and as an MC, a person that truly cares about his craft, you know, you have a young person, you know, singing a hook to superpowers, which can then encourage them to be great, right?
Yeah, of course. That's dope what you shared. That's like that connects exactly what I'm saying. And like I think what we were attempting, like when Sin came with that message and came with that record, and that was one of those records. Was like, yo, I was done. I was like, yo, this album is done. You know what I'm saying? And Superpowers was the last record. And Sin was like, nah, fam, we got to do this record. We got to do this record. This record is important. Like and ShortFYUZ, like our brother who like kind of connected the dots, he produced that, and I was over like Sin bringing me more material to be like, yo, this got to go on the joint. Then we got to do this. Like, what if we did this? And like when he did that and brought that record, again, I'm glad he did it because it became the first single. You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't even have the first. That was the first single that came out. And it connected all the dots, and he was right. It tied everything together, So I'm enjoying this space where, like, I'm used to like kind of leading and almost micromanaging every aspect of what I'm doing, and it was great to kind of fall back and kind of like I lead, but at the same time I can be led, and I appreciate that from my brother, like who brought that important piece to the puzzle. You know what I mean?
Right. It sounds like there's a mutual respect. That sounds like, I mean, there's a mutual respect between the two of you. Now, recording the album, was it recorded all in the same place, or did you have different studios that you went to record the tracks at?
It was here and there, like. Some of the tracks, we did at ShortFYUZ, and some he would come to my crib, we would record, but ultimately we brought it all to John Glass, and he mixed and mastered it, basically that's so Glass House, you know what I'm saying? That's who basically like mixed and mastered it. That's where like it was like pretty much the final project. So it was all over the place and funneled it right there to that one spot,
Okay. And did that ever, or did that the environment feed to the tone of the album at all, or no? Like sometimes you record at certain places, it may, the energy there may spark some different ideas.
John is a trusted source, like for that. So yeah, the environment definitely helped, having him there, being able to have other people come through and kick it, you know what I'm saying? And like music isn't just the sound, it's a vibe, you know what I'm saying? Like it's who in the room can definitely affect how your verse is said, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, get this tool out of here, you messing making me not concentrate. Or I mean, we didn't have to kick nobody out, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, it can be like that, But
right.
Nah, for sure. I know Pennant for me. I was trying to think of like who you was talking about had to get out the studio, but I was like, nah. I'm trying to remember like some of our homies be like, yo, you talk too much, son. Like, yo, you need to sit your mind down, go sit out in the hallway or something. Nah, but I don't remember nobody like that. But huh?
You know what I thought of? Straight out of Compton.
Yeah, but yo, like I think it's great when you work with people who you respect. It's great when you like are in a cipher of individuals who haven't lost the joy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
No matter as we get older, we get long in the beard with the grays. It doesn't matter as long as you you know what I'm saying. I think Sin's a student of the Nori game, like drink champs, like Nori be having that it's funny. I see Nori he he got the dye that he uses. Now I don't know if Sid dyes his beard. I'm just like trying to mess with him real quick. But you know, like Nori like be promoting it. He leans into it and he sells it. He sells it. Good for Nori.
That's wild
Nori,
too,
bro.
man, because he went from bald to having, you know, a head full of hair.
Mad
Man.
hair. Nori got mad hair. And he try to act like he didn't put no plugs in. He's like, yo, like maybe he didn't put plugs. I don't know. But he jumped in the water to try to prove that he wasn't like putting plugs. All right, bro.
Yeah, he put that AstroTurf on, man.
whatever works for you, bro. It's all love. Right.
When I brush it, it just looks darker for somewhere.
When you brush it? Yeah. Is that what it is? Yo, my joints is all over the place. I remember, like, 25th hour, my beard was sticking out. Like, it was like people was thinking I was Freeway for a little bit. Oh, it's like, yo, it was coming out like, yo, that's like a young Freeway. He from Philly. They thought I did. Some thought I was from Philly because, everybody in Philly got the big beards. Right. Like, yo, they thought I was a Philly head.
They didn't start calling you Ak, did they? Hey, Ak, what's up, Ak?
They always call me Ak, even right now. They was hey, yo, peace, Ak. Yo, peace, Ak. Yo, but like, it was either Philly or because I did 2 videos. I did a few videos in New York, loving the aesthetics. Like, people thought I was from New York. People thought I was from all these different, the neighborhoods we come from, very small cities, but it's peace and respect to all that, but like it's funny. All that came from like the Beard Gang. You know what I'm saying? Like I put the Gray Hairs album out years ago when I had the super black beard, and then they hit me up in the comments and they love to say, "Yo, Rex, you really gray hairs now, fam. We see you." You know what I'm saying? But I earned these, so I'm never gonna like dye them joints.
Right? No, like, good stuff. Good stuff. I appreciate that. I
ain't dyeing my beard like that.
Right. hey, go ahead, Artisin. Go ahead. You want to say something, man? Go ahead.
Okay.
June 30th, fam. June 30th. Nah, just let me stop. Go ahead.
Rex is a funny guy, man. Hey, get it back to the album, man. What were there any albums that maybe you were part of or from your solo career that that kind of added to what you did with this project?
Part of, or like that we grew up.
I mean, yeah, it could be any album, something you did, someone else did, but was there anything that you maybe you heard something and said, "Oh, I heard this from," like you mentioned some of the other guys like Dre or something from Redman back in the day,
like like the whole
right.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's heavily, I know Sins are like, you are like super like mob like guy, you know what I'm saying? Like you like mob and the Wu and individuals of that nature, like their creative processes and how they make records. I think those leanings are natural to like, be influenced by. It ain't like no Ghost, like, let me stop. I was going to tell another joke. Like Ghost being like, I don't want nobody sound like me on no records. Like, I want Ghost to come and see this interview and be asking a question. Nah, but like, I think we influenced by the people we grew up respecting, for sure.
Right.
In New York has a heavy influence. New York has a definite heavy influence on us in New England, for sure.
Right. So what is it that you hope that listeners get from the album?
I hope that they get one good like hip hop experience, something that they feel is pushing the culture forward, they can consider, and so, and I just hope that they can relate. Like, I hope that they find something that they relate to that helps them, whether it's, Kill Writer's Block, or losses or you know, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's just a lot of gems that's been said, you know, in a lot of the songs, you know, whether it's different experiences. Brett's like, we have a song, he dresses a lot of stuff in his, and from another time, you know, about, you know, views that people may have, you know, about, you know, him, you know, kind of coming into more of an enlightened position, you know, and more of an enlightened mind, you know. So now having more patience and not being like you said, used to drink, and you know what I'm saying. We all used to wild out way more than, you know. So this is more of like the growth, you know. And I hope that people could see that, you know what I'm saying, and use that to, you know, get through their day, you know, because like I said it before, a lot of times I listen to somebody spitting, talking about who got shot on the block, or who, you know, like their life traumas and struggles, at the same time listening to that, you know, and having the time of my life with my friends, with my people, listening to these classic bars, you know, and like, yo, you know, like these real songs being made, and they're talking about some real shit while I'm with my friends smoking blunt, drinking, you know what I'm saying, shooting the shit, playing PlayStation, whatever, listening to them say what they said, you know what I'm saying, and it resonated in my mind, you know, and I just want to carry that on. Like,
Good stuff.
for the, you know?
Good stuff.
That's real.
That's June 30th is fast approaching, man.
Yeah.
How will you be celebrating the album? You're gonna have some sort of release party, some, you know, live dates around that time. How are you gonna release the album to the world?
So the weekend of the album releasing, we're gonna be doing a listening party via Bandcamp. People are gonna be all immersive. You could tap in. Hope you tap in. Like, individuals can chop it up with us. You know, just give us their thoughts, just leading up to the release. We're gonna be rocking out in Manchester, New Hampshire, at a thing they call Rap Night out in Manchester. They do that, like, this weekly event. We got the brother Marcel P. Black coming up from Tulsa. Nim K, Termanology's artist, who just dropped her album today. She's going to be performing with us. And then we're going to be out in Brooklyn on the 26th, rocking with Sky Zoo, Eddie Kane, Sen and I, with my brother, who's doing like the second installment of an event that we did last year out in Brooklyn. So we're going to do our thing in Brooklyn and come back in Cambridge, the Middle East legendary location for spitters in the city. And we're going to be doing a release part. We're going to be doing a like sort of release party there, like at this thing they call the Freestyle Clinic. We're doing it kind of cypher mode, going to these like cypher type locations to like unleash and speak about. We just got back from Denver, Seattle, and Utah, and we're just doing those. We're doing the podcasts. We're doing radio runs, and you know, just shaking hands, kissing babies, and letting people know that it's like this is the old school. We're doing mixing a bit of the old school with the new school approach of how to like get out there and get visible for the people. And I'll be knocking on Sin's door early, like, yo, son, we gotta get to this work. I'm not playing, bro. Like, Sin's getting on my time when it comes to like the promo and like getting out and doing it. Like, I'm turning it up. Like, I did it with ShortFYUZ. When me and ShortFYUZ dropped the album a few years back, I said, I went to his house and started knocking on his door like, yo, let's go. We got this boat. We about to take this trip to Cuba. We want to take this trip out here to Europe. And this is how we got to do it. Because I believe in these brothers. And all jokes aside, like, I do joke about it, but I think I'm passionate about like my squad and like how gifted we are, and I think this is a great piece of art. Kill Writer's Block is something that I think is a timeless piece of art, and it's just the start of something that's gonna, like, you know, culminate into bigger and better things for us all. So yeah, June 30th. We're excited about it. One other thing I will say, my wife shot the next 3 videos that are coming out. Losses actually already dropped. It dropped this past week. We need people to go out there and watch that video my wife shot. We got in our black cowboy vibes, and we went out to Denver, did the black cowboy thing. We already did the superhero thing. Then we did the black cowboy thing. I don't know what's next. We might be in spacesuits or something like that. Y'all look out for us. We might be in spacesuits, not shiny suits, but spacesuits. We might be in spacesuits.
Not the shiny suits, huh?
No shiny suit.
We know what happened after that.
Suit, man. Spacesuit, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be on our Mork and Mindy. Right. We're gonna be on our Mork and Mindy, but not like not no shiny suits.
Not the shiny suits. I got you.
Especially not right now. No shiny suits.
so after the album, man, do you guys have plans for, I know you mentioned Europe, but do you have any plans for a tour? Have you thought about that at all?
I mean, I'm ready to go. Say if Sin's ready to roll with me, I've already been talking to heads in Texas, Seattle for another run. What do you call what do you call Seattle, Sin?
Oh man, he gonna put me up, yo. All
right, we'll keep it quiet.
Yeah, hey, you want to go back to Seattle, man? So don't say it.
Seattle, fam. Like, yo, I don't want to have a Charles Barkley moment when it comes to San Antonio. Charles Barkley be on San Antonio's neck.
hey, they came after him too, man. They don't mess around.
Hey, yo, Seattle, we love you, fam. We can't wait to be back and see you again, yo. Am I looking at the camera straight? Yeah, I'm looking at it. Word. Seattle, we love you. Yo, Seattle, we go back to Seattle, Portland, all that, huh?
Hey, and before you two go, man, what give out your socials, right? But before that, what looking back on the album is done now, what are your most proud? What are you most proud of this album?
I think for me, I think it's the pieces, like, the fact that like we put so much effort into the artwork and making sure everything is just cohesive from top to bottom, and a lot of it was like if we didn't, we outsourced a lot, but we did a lot of like graph, we did a lot of we put a lot of time and effort. My wife, she did a lot of the videos. We kept it home team. And I'm real proud of the fact that we did it. We like kind of like in a vacuum, in our own vacuum of like our own like creative process, and that's a dope thing when you're able to keep it home team.
No doubt. I appreciate that too, man. Again, you want to give out any socials? Where can people reach out to you? You want to give out Bandcamp or whatever? Go ahead, Rex.
Yeah, the Bandcamp / AR16. Make sure you come join with us. We'll get you that details if you want to put that even further. And then youtube.com / I am REKS. So you can I am REKS, so you can watch the videos, all videos that the videos from Lost is a new one, Eat What You Kill, Superpowers. Shout out to Estee Nack on Eat What You Kill, and shout out to Termanology, who's on the next release. We're dropping actually this week. We're dropping Another Time featuring Termanology.
Artisin, any social handles, man, you want to share?
Yeah, just want to say first, shout out to my squad, shout out to ST Dr. Squad, and all the people that supported and that supported us. And but for those that don't, follow me on IG at ArtIsReal82. Follow me at ArtIsReal82. And if you want, check me on all streaming platforms, Artisin, ARTISIN, everything. And
word.
Peace.
Well, again, man, I appreciate both of you spending some time with us. Again, June 30. The album is called Kill Writer's Block. I'm pretty sure from what I've heard of it, the tracks that have been released, you'll enjoy it as well. Again, June 30, Kill Writer's Block. Until next time, man. Again, I appreciate you guys giving us your time today.